Don't have a good day. Have a great day.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my God.
Deadpool. What's left to say about Wade Wilson, the merc with a mouth, that hasn't already been said? When the first movie came out back in 2016 with all its R-rated, curse-spewing, blood-spattering, laugh-your-ass-off humor, we all realized that Ryan Reynolds was born to wear the red spandex suit. And throughout the first two movies, one running gag was always present. Hugh Jackman and the Wolverine.
I know, right? Whose balls did I have to fondle to get my very own movie? I can't tell you, but it does rhyme with Pulverine.
But after the second Deadpool movie and Disney acquiring Fox Studio, the fate of Deadpool and the rest of the X-Men was left uncertain. And despite Marvel's president Kevin Feige saying that they had plans with Deadpool, we had no idea what, when or how a Deadpool movie under the Disney umbrella would actually look like. All that changed in September of 2022 when Ryan Reynolds, in a little video on his own YouTube channel, released this little nugget to the world.
I did have one idea. Hey Hugh, you want to play Wolverine one more time?
Yeah, sure, Ryan.
With the running gag of Wolverine seeming to hit its ultimate climax in a third installment, fans were waiting with bated breath to see if a Deadpool movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe would keep the spirit of the other movies with the R rating. A lot of people were afraid that the House of Mouse would neuter Deadpool or have him bleeped to keep their family-friendly brand alive. And I'm happy to say that they succeeded. The movie once again reunites us with our favorite wisecracking, fourth wall-breaking anti-hero Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool, played by Ryan Reynolds sometime after the events of the second movie. Wanting more than anything to become someone that matters to the world, he tries to get recruited into the Avengers, but doesn't quite meet the expectations. Depressed and dejected, he ends up settling with becoming a car salesman, and his relationship with Marina Baccarin's Vanessa runs out because of his own self-pity. At Wade's birthday party, he suddenly gets abducted by Keepers of the Sacred Timeline, the Time Variance Authority, with the promise of a greater purpose. The leader of this branch of the TVA, Paradox, played by Matthew McFadden, tells Deadpool that his universe is dying because of the world's so-called anchor being has died. In this case, Hugh Jackman's Logan from the movie of the same name. Being the person he is, Deadpool thinks he can solve the problem by jumping through the multiverse to find a suitable replacement, and finds a sulking Wolverine he ropes into helping him. Paradox, however, ends up sending them both to the Void, a place where all dead universes end up, and it's up to the two of them to get back to Wade's world and save it, if they don't kill each other first.
Ah! Nicked it. Just got the tip with your little steak knife.
Deadpool and Wolverine was the adrenaline shot in the arm that the MCU sorely needed. While I for the most part have enjoyed the content we've gotten post-Avengers Endgame, it's not an understatement to say that the movies have underperformed by Marvel standards. Heck, I have also found a couple of the movies rather underwhelming, and certain of their Disney Plus shows god-awful and not up to the level of excellence that the MCU has delivered before.
He doesn't mean that.
This consensus from the general movie-going audience is echoed throughout the movie, and Marvel itself is the biggest target of Deadpool's ire and sarcastic meta-commentary. And it's a breath of fresh air for an official Marvel movie to rip its own universe apart and admit their shortcomings. And I'm not only pleasantly surprised, but delighted that the movie can jab at the larger MCU without pulling their punches.
It's Wolverine.
You're damn straight it is. Disney brought him back. They're gonna make him do this till he's 90.
As the conclusion to not just the Deadpool movie trilogy, but also the running joke about Wolverine and Deadpool's relationship, it is also the climax of years and years of online Twitter beef between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman that we get to see come to fruition on screen. While the two of them are best friends in real life, Wolverine's straight man to Deadpool's crazy funny man is not only a blast to see, invoking a classic Hollywood trope of buddy cop movies, but it's also the main drive of the narrative, hence the title. And the dynamic is not only a vehicle for some great banter, but also some of the most visceral, close combat scene we've ever seen in the MCU, with only a certain couple of fights from Captain America Civil War being a contender. With everything this movie does right, it also falls into the typical Marvel fare of having mediocre villains. While Paradox is a charming antagonist and Cassandra Nova, played by Emma Corrin, is scary and downright overpowered, their motivations and machinations is almost an afterthought in the movie, and half the time you almost forget that they're even in the film. But as with many other Marvel movies, the villains are only here to facilitate our hero's journey. And in this case, it's the emotional complexities of our two lead characters and their evolution together that drives this movie home. Also, if you go into this movie expecting the next pivotal puzzle piece and a glimpse into the future of the MCU, I'm afraid this movie will leave you somewhat wanting. For as much as this is Deadpool's official inauguration into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you don't have to have watched anything beforehand in the MCU or need to watch this to understand anything in the MCU moving forward. No, this movie is something else entirely. It's a love letter and a final farewell to the Fox Marvel universe that predates the MCU. It is a send-off to not just a lot of the characters of the past that pops up as cameos throughout the movie, but also a whole era of superhero movies that laid the foundation to what has become the greatest money-making franchise of all time. And the cameos, while being fan service in their nature, is more than just a quick gimmick. They actually serve a narrative function and are pivotal to Deadpool and Wolverine's success. And without spoiling anything, the end credits themselves are some of the most beautiful and bittersweet credits in any movie that I have ever seen. This is by far the most fun I've had going to the movies in years. And Deadpool and Wolverine was the perfect palate cleanser for the MCU after their hit and miss stride. Let's hope they can carry this momentum into the next film coming in 2025. This definitely lived up and succeeded my every expectation. The absolute best Marvel movie post-Endgame. And with that, Deadpool and Wolverine secures the runner-up spot on the top 10 list with maximum effort, sending Inside Out 2 to the void of 3rd place. Thanks for watching. You're still here. The review's over. Close the video.